Hey, what's up, guys? Back streaming again, Bambino Games live. We're doing some streaming, and actually, if you look there, I should be able to see chat inside the plane here using FlyInside's virtual window. Hopefully that works well for me. I'm in Princess Juliana in St. Maarten, and I'm just going to be doing some takeoff and landing practice in the Cessna 172 Skyhawk, the stock plane that comes with X-Plane 11. We're in X-Plane 11 in VR with Oculus Rift using FlyInside. I've got the camera also on my yoke here so you can see what the hell's going on, and should be some fun. Just make sure I got everything set up okay here, and I'm going to start doing some more streaming, and yeah, so looking forward to it. So let's taxi out here. We're in some sort of, forget where the hell we are here, but let's release our brake and we'll just taxi out and start our practice. All right, let's see, where the hell are we here? So why don't we take off? Let's turn around and we'll take off into the mountains. Actually, where's the windsock? Let's figure out which way the wind's blowing. Usually you take off towards the mountains because of the wind, prevailing wind. I've actually landed here before when I went on vacation here a long time ago. And you land over the beach. There's actually people on the beach. There's actually some videos on YouTube of people getting blown away when like jets take off. So let's get to the runway here, get to stage for takeoff. Drop for the trucks. Yeah, there's my windsock, so oh shit, I gotta be at the other end. Alright, well, let's do that then. I'm just gonna go on the runway. Is that right? Where's the windsock? Yeah, it's blowing that way. So we're gonna have to take off. Oh no, what am I doing? Sorry. I'm taking off this way. See how my frame rates are. 55.93, good. 53, pretty good. Alright. So we're just going to do some takeoff and landing practice. Beautiful place to do it in St. Maarten. Getting lined up in the middle. Alright. Let's make sure we're still streaming. Are we streaming? Looks like we're... Oh. My mistake. Should be streaming. What the hell's going on? Let's see here. Just making sure everything's working okay. Yep. Alright, cool. I see it there. Nice. Alright, let's give it a go. Go to 2,000 RPM. Rotate. Now let's veer off. We'll veer off left before we get to the peaks up there. Keep it at 500 feet per second. Check out the sailboats. I'm anxious to see if someone could type something in the chat here. If it's going to work, if I can actually see, it would be great. Turn to get parallel with the runway. Beautiful. All right, beautiful. Hey, if you guys are watching, if someone could type something in the chat for me, just so I can check and make sure that this virtual window is working, that'd be really helpful. Thank you. We're going to keep it just at 1,000, and then we'll turn, and we'll just keep doing a rectangle pattern. Just again, as I'm just doing landing, takeoff and landing practice. Keep it at 100 knots. All right, we'll make our left-hand bank. Target. We're a little high here. We want to get down to under 1,000. On the flaps, 10% I should say. Line it up. Beauty. Have a late flare here to hit this right. It should be right on center. Man, I'd hate to stay at that hotel. Right by the airport. It would suck. All right. Up. Little hard there. It's okay. Taxi and do it again. rotate. Let's take it the other way. We'll bank left right here this time. Sailboats in the harbor there. This time we're running out a little bit further. I'm going to try to do a slower descent this time rather than a quick descent towards the beginning of the runway. You just want to reach out and touch the controls. It's pretty wild. Let's see where this is. Not sure why I don't have use of. Not letting me use any controls. That's weird. It's okay. I don't need to. All right, I'll go for about another minute, and then we'll head back in. I guess I should probably dial it in on the GPS, so I could tell, you know, where I am nautical mile-wise. Let's bank it. So nice landing in VR. I know I say it every video, but that's the coolest thing about it. Is being able to have like the spatial awareness when you land. That's the coolest thing about it. Alright, so we're gonna go down at 500 feet per minute. Got an itch on my eye, but I can't scratch it. Go to 20%. Still too steep. Too steep. Not a good landing. Not a good landing. Too hard. Too hard. Try it again. I don't think I can taxi. Can I taxi over here? No, I gotta go on the runway. Damn it. That's what you get for making that mistake. Try right from here. Rotate. Knots. Hey, Fithin, how you doing? Filthin, sorry. Cool, I could see it in the chat. Awesome. I could see the your chat in VR, which is great. Now, if I remember correctly, you used to watch my American Truck Simulator videos. I don't want to crash here. I'm only at 300 feet, so I need to get up. Fiffin, hello. It's so nice to be able to see chat without having to take the headset off. Alright, so this time I'm going to just say Fiffin. Yeah, it's easy. Yep, the ATS days. I'm still playing ATS, but not as much as Flight Simulator. I just totally hooked on X-Plane 11 in VR. It's unbelievable. It just is. Now let's keep it at 100 knots here. So we'll back off to about 2,200 RPM. So you're still playing ATS, Fiffin? You see your chat right there? Pretty cool. Could actually bring that a little closer. That, so it'll be easier for me to see it. It's not in the way of anything, it's perfect. Alright, so I'm gonna go a little bit longer here and then we'll rip it around and try it again, but this time I want to try to keep a better angle of descent. I have a tendency to come in too damn steep, which means I'm not being patient enough. Alright, that should be good. Let's try it now. We're at 800 or 750. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. I've been busy, but just started playing Transport Fever. Oh, I haven't heard of Transport Fever. Might have to check that out. Alright, so we're going to have to come back north a little bit to pick up, line up with the runway. And let's see if we can keep our descent more practical this time. Alright, so we're at 2,000 RPM. Okay, our descent is 500 feet per minute. We're going to get down to about 600 and then we'll hit the flaps to slow us down. Throttle back. Get our angle of descent again. 500. Coming to 500. It's a little better than before. Still a little too steep. Slow it up more. Back on the throttle. Get it down to 80, down to 70. Yeah, I should be a little bit lower, probably about 50 feet lower, but this is better than the last time. Better than the last time. A lot of runway to work with. Reduce the power, angle the plane out, flare it as I come down. Stay in center. This could be a good one. 60, coming to 60 knots. That's a pretty fast landing. That was a little hard. But this plane is forgiving as far as smacking the pavement hard. There's a plane that I have from Coronado. It's a Piper that you do that and that, and you basically kill the plane. All right, let's see. I've got to go behind the building to get to the end of the runway. Only thing you can fly is a flag. You know, yeah, it's actually, it does take some practice, but I tell you what, it's a really fun experience. Especially in VR, because I mean, I feel like I'm in the plane, man. I know I'm off the yellow line here, but we're gonna go behind these gas cans or gas tanks to get to the end of the runway. But I'm just gonna cut through here, so it just takes me less time. Yeah, no, it's almost, to me, it's impossible to fly with a keyboard. You have to have a yoke. You have to have a yoke. It's the only way to do it. And this yoke that I have, I think, was $130, so it wasn't too expensive. I can go down here to the end, the tippy tip. VR is completely, especially with X-Plane, because I mean, it's just phenomenal. I mean, I'm getting really good frame rates too. 50 in X-Plane and 94, 93 in the headset. So pretty damn good frame rates. All right, right over that fence is the beach. People are bathing over there. So we're going to line up at the tippy tip, which is where the big jets line up. We don't need to. We don't need that much space, but we'll take it anyway. Oh, dude, I bought the new Train Sim World. There's no way, in my estimation, that they'll have VR support in that game. The frame rates are, you know, they're not that great. I mean, you know, I'm using a 170 and I'm getting like, you know, 30. If I get 30 frames per second, I'm lucky. So unless there's some sort of reprojection that gets up to 90 frames, it's going to be pretty much impossible for Train Sim World to be VR. That'd be great. And actually, there's a game called Derail Valley. I did a demo of it on my channel here that is in VR, and you actually operate a switcher in VR. It's pretty cool. And it works really well. And it's free demo. We're way over speed here. You only need to be 55 knots to get this thing up in the air, so All right, let's go. We'll go right this time. Want to try to stay on the runway when you take off. But now we can veer off. Stay at 100 knots. Look at the beautiful sailboats. 300 feet. Where's our runway? Right there. Okay, good. So let's stay like that. Yeah, so I have the new Train Sim World. The graphic detail is unbelievable. They use the Unreal Engine 4 in it. It's incredible. But again, the frame rates are not great. Their technology is basically the same. They're redrawing. I think they're redrawing everything within a quarter-mile radius. So that causes a lot of frame rate degradation. And I know they're working on optimizing it. They have a couple of things that they're doing to optimize it, but you need to be 90 frames per second in VR. And the only reason this works is because this piece of software called FlyInside that reprojects the 60 frames per second that I'm getting in X-Plane. It reprojects it to 90 so that you don't get sim sickness in the headset. So, I mean, it'd be really cool to operate those trains in VR. I just think that they're a long way away from it. Multiplayer is another one. That would be pretty cool. Listen, I believe in Dovetail's train simulator franchise. I put a lot of money into it over the years. You know, it's one of my... It's like the first game that got me into simulation games. But I think they have a long way to go for optimization. Oh, we're too high. We're too high. I don't want to be at 1100. I want to be at under 1,000. Let's get this plane down. Go to 900. All right. 30 seconds more and then we'll bank right, turn in again and land. Well, it's good to see you're still around, Fithin. It's good to see. All right, let's make our way back to Princess Juliana. That's kind of a steep turn there. Picked up 500 feet. But I think I'm far enough out here. I mean, I've never piloted a plane in real life. I mean, I've been in smaller planes and smaller jets, private jets, but I've never piloted, no. But doing this makes me want to learn. All right, so 1,200 feet. Descending at 700 feet per minute. Try to keep it at about 7. Yeah, I'm a big dude too. I don't know, I think it'd be really cool to be able to control your own plane. All right, let's get to 600, wait our flaps. All right, slowing the plane up now. 90. Too steep. Too steep. %, flaps. Lower on the power. Let's get back in the middle. All right, 70 knots. That was way too hard. Way too hard. Be too scared to fly, way too much responsibility. Yeah, well, you know what? I think what it is that to fly in real life, you have to be really, really prepared. You have to, you know, this takes a lot of work to get to the point where you can trust yourself to fly. You know, if you know all the procedures and you know what to do, and you have that down cold, and you have it in your mind that you can fly safely, then you know that's cool. But I mean, you're in a piece of machinery that can fail. But the good news is, if you're in a lightweight plane, you know, you got a good chance of gliding. So, there is that. But, yeah, I know what you're saying. It could be scary. But you gotta, it's a lot of preparation. I mean, to get your pilot's license in real life probably would cost you about between $8,000 and $10,000. In lessons, depending on where you go. A lot of work. That's why VR is so great, because I can just do it for free. Well, not for free, I mean, I have to have a VR system. But we don't really... Now, there's an argument. Some people say you need 10% flaps when you take off. I guess it depends on the airport. I don't need it here, probably. So let's... Hey, we got 3 people watching. Cool. Say hello in the chat, guys. We're at Princess Juliana and St. Maarten. $60 and rotate. Try to stay on the runway when you take off. Tower will tell you which way to go, so we're gonna turn left to heading 030. Okay, there's 030, just about. Let's go to turn out again. Geekle Twitch. It's hard to read your name there. I'm actually looking at it in VR here, but said, hey, he's just checking out some X-Plane 11 gameplay. What do you think of it so far? Well, let me tell you, I've been a flight simulator enthusiast for many years, back in the Sublogic days when I played it on an Apple II. That kind of dates me a little bit. But, and I was the FS Flight Simulator 10 user and all the flight simulators before that, the Microsoft versions. X-Plane 11 is the most realistic flight simulator I've ever used. It's unbelievable. Now I've used Aerofly FS2, which has a VR inherent design, which is really good too, but X-Plane 11 just has all the real world stuff and has the actual flight physics of the plane and the GPS and the communications and all that stuff. It's unbelievable. It's well worth the $60 investment. Now let me tell you that X-Plane 11 is there's an economy around it, okay? Like you can buy custom planes, you can buy custom scenery. There's also a lot of free custom scenery that you can get. Like I've gotten free custom scenery for Boston, Toronto, Juneau, Alaska. There's other places that you can get. The plane that comes with it, the 172 Cessna that I'm flying right here, is a great trainer plane. It's in VR, it's very three-dimensional. It's got a good GPS, the 530, which is just fine for navigation. And it's a great flyer. You can go through all the sequences and startup and checklists and all that stuff and learn a lot by using this. Now there's another upgraded 172 by a company called Airfoil Labs that's more realistic, but it doesn't have the G30 GPS in it. It has a 430, which is not a 530, a 430, which is a little older and not as functional. But you know, I think it's a $30 plane. But you can basically buy, I think you get about 10 planes with it, and it ranges from this one to jets to commercial airlines, etc., etc. So there's a lot to it for $60. You get enough, but like I said, you can add on. There's a website called xplane.org that you can check out that has a lot of information about all the add-ons and stuff. Where's my runway? Over there, right? So yeah, that's a long answer to a short question, but it's awesome. And this piece of software that I'm using called FlyInside allows you to play X-Plane 11 in VR. X-Plane 11 doesn't have inherent VR support, so you can use this add-on to do that. And flying in VR is the greatest experience in gaming I've ever had. I gotta be honest, it really is. Alright, so now we're far enough out and I'm low enough where I should be able to have a very slow descent into this airport. And that's what I'm gonna try to do here. I'm at 90 knots. So I'm gonna try to keep my rated descent at about 250 feet per minute. Lined up here. Let me get my descent going again. So I got 200, let's keep it at 250 feet per minute. Now this is a much more gradual descent. This is how you want to do it. I looked at Sim Airport. It looks pretty cool. Might check it out. Alright, so when you turn the flaps on, when you hit the flaps, the plane's going to want to come up a little bit, so you got to nose it down. Keep the descent going. One more time, 20%. Lower the power. Alright, so I'm at 600 feet. It could be lower. Alright, so let's go to 500 feet per minute. Descent, aiming for just beyond the piano keys there at the end of the runway. Flare it out and try to land it real soft. That's the goal here, nice and soft. 70 knots, get it in the center. Aim for those tire marks there, and I'm going I'm 50, 65. Coming to 60. You don't want to power down too much. This might be a good one. Well, that's nice. The back wheel should hit first. That was a good one. That was pretty good. I'll take that one. The airport sim. I saw that. I saw a couple of videos on YouTube. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, it is pixelated. It's sort of like a 2D God top type game. That would be cool in VR, I'll tell you that. They had a VR type game like that where you can control an airport. The other thing I'll tell you about X-Plane 11, and actually I think FSX has this too, but there's this thing called That Sim and Pilot's Edge. They're both kind of the same thing, where it's simulated air traffic control, and basically it's people that are air traffic control enthusiasts, and some of them are paid actually, and they operate simulated air traffic control. I mean, you have a tail number and you fly in a air traffic controlled environment from destination to destination, having to communicate with air traffic control, and you learn the language of pilots, which is really cool. Every once in a while I have to fix my centering. Alright, let me just stop here. I gotta fix this thing here so I can read it. Okay, there you go. That's better. Well, now I can see it. Cool. Yeah, there's a couple of... Check YouTube, Fifth, and there's videos about on Sim Airport. It's pretty neat. All right. Flaps are up. I'm gonna turn and go this time. Now you notice I have to kind of hit the yoke to the right here. The plane, even in real life, you watch videos of people taking off in Cessna 172s, it has a tendency to go to the left until it gets up to speed. Like now it'll be okay, but until it gets up to speed, it has I'm going way too fast. I can lift this thing up at 60, but it has a tendency to want to go to the left. Gotta move this thing down. There you go. All right, Geekle, thanks for checking out the stream. Appreciate it. Hope you check out X-Plane 11. It's definitely worth the money, man. Beautiful St. Maarten. Isn't that nice down there? Check that out. Let's bring it back to just off the throttle a little bit. Oh, damn. God damn it. I keep having to center this thing. have to do. It's hard to get everything in the place that you want it in VR. I feel like I'm too far away from the console, but wait, oh, that's better. That's better. All right, where are we? 1,200 feet. That's too high. Let's get out here. Let's get it down to 1,000. All right, let's turn and land. And after I land, I think I'm gonna take off and fly over the island a little bit, go on the other side, and see what we can find. Okay, where are we here? Okay. 1,000 feet. It really depends, Fifth, on where you are. I mean, you can actually do these things called photorealistic scenery. There's software that helps you create like that for certain areas. So, it depends on where you are. I mean, there's like standard terrain, which is what you see out there in the distance, but there's also ways to make it look very, very detailed. So there's a lot of capability. Right now, I would describe it as I'm looking out the window at an island that has a little bit of fogginess in front of it, and that's just because in the VR headset, because of the pixelation and what they call screen door effect, it kind of makes things a little murky, you know. I think I put my flaps on a little early here, but that's all right. I think this is going to be a good one. This might be my best one yet. Not bad. All right, flaps up. Let's just take off. Touch and go. Geographically speaking, oh yes, it's very accurate as far as the mapping. Oh, I'm going way too. It's very accurate. I mean, Manhattan. I mean, this. I'm sure if you looked at a map, this is how St. Martin is mapped out. New York City looks very lifelike, and as it should. So yeah, geographically, it's they've done a great job with the world. Oh, it really is sick. I mean, it's sick in 2D. This game is sick in 2D. In 3D, it's amazing. Now there is an airfield over here, so let me see if we can find that, and unless it's an heliport, maybe we'll land over there. Let's see what we got on the other side of the island here. What we got down there? Okay. Must be a heliport or something down there. I don't think there's an airport on this side. Alright, we're at 1,500 feet. Well above most of the island. Let's go check out down here. I'm at, my speed is 110 knots right now. Now the French side of St. Martin has new beaches, so I'm not sure we'll get lucky enough to see that, but it's going to pass by this hotel real quick and we'll veer up. Knots do convert to miles per hour. I don't know the exact conversion. I think I think like 100 knots is like, I'm not sure. I don't know the conversion, but I know that in airplane speak, it's always knots and nautical miles. I tell you what, after this landing, I'll take you to a different place. I'll take you to, yeah, the boats are all static. They're all static. Maybe I'll take you to San Francisco. I actually haven't been to San Francisco yet in this game. So let me land this thing and we'll check out San Francisco. You know, I haven't flown any. I've tried some of the big planes. I'm not very good at landing them. The procedures are different, and it takes a lot more control. I mean, I can do them I can land them in Flight Simulator 10, but in X-Plane it's more difficult because you really need to. They're modeled so well that you really need to know what you're doing. So. I'm trying to get the hang of. Yeah, knots is a plane and a marine and air term. It's used for both. All right, let's turn in here and make a quick landing, and then we'll head to San Francisco. Yeah, this may sound silly, but I'm trying to get to the point where this plane feels like it's mine. Like I know it so well that I'm really comfortable with it. And then I'm going to move up to like a twin engine. Because that's a different beast. Has a different profile, different way of flying. Definitely a different way of landing. I mean, taking off and flying are really easy. It's the landing that you have to get down. The landing is basically a controlled crash. Plus, I'm into the scenic thing, so in the Cessna, you know, you're able to fly at 80 knots and check stuff out, you know. This actually might be a pretty good landing. 20 flaps, yeah. All right, cool. So let's get our nose up. Coming down slow here. Nose up. A little bit of power. Back feet. Front feet. Okay, good. All right, let me see if I can move us to San Fran. Give me a second here. Oh, I gotta restart. Damn it. Okay, let me restart. What's going on here? Oh, got some sort of problem with my pop out. Okay, let me see here. Hold on here. Here we go. Get this going. Takes a few minutes here. You should be able to. Oh, where am I loading that? I don't need my. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. For some reason, I started up Microsoft Flight Simulator. Give me 1 second. Close that. Yes, new flight. Let's go to San Fran. I can spell Fran. San Francisco International Airport. we should be loaded up, and then I got to try to get this, import this window into, where is it? That. Give us 1 second while things load up here. I think there's a lot of scenery to load up in San Fran. San Granny, yeah. All right, just don't bomb. Okay, are we in? We are in. Beautiful. All right, let me just get myself synchronized here. Okay, good. I got everything. My chat. Beautiful. I can see you. Oh, I gotta make a quick turn here. Okay, break off. Okay, where's me airport? Where's me runway? Okay, where's the windsock? I'm gonna do it regardless of the wind. Let's see, where's all right, let's go this way. Here we go. Once I get up in the air, I'll figure out where the hell I am. And we'll check out some of the sights. I think the Golden Gate is right over this hill, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, something. The hourglass was there for now. I have use of my mouse. I mean, I can see. I can actually control things with the mouse, and before it was frozen, so there was some sort of issue. No hands, Mom. I'm gonna set the autopilot on here, and I'm gonna change my we are no longer edit this. Make it simple. All right, autopilot off. Damn. Oh, it sucks. I can't turn the autopilot off. God damn it. Oh, maybe just like... shit. Alright, well, we're on a crash course for wherever. I lost my cursor again. Let's see if I can get it back here somehow. Got my cursor back. Cool. Autopilot off. Alright, where's the Golden Gate? That's Alcatraz over there. Golden Gate should be right over there. Let's see if it pops up. Yeah, there's no... I guess they don't have the Golden Gate in the detail. That's too bad. We'll have to see if there's a scenery pack for that. This area is fun to fly around. I mean, it should be... The Golden Gate should be at like 12 o'clock. But it ain't there. Unless it's going to show up, we'll see. Oh, it looks like they have a cheap representation of the Golden Gate Bridge. That's a shame. Well, I could tell you in the default scenery in New York, there's no Statue of Liberty, so that tells you something. All right, we're not going to see anything there, so let's fly over San Fran. San Francisco's built out pretty well. Definitely has the hill contours, that's for sure. You could see, you guys can't probably see that, but I can see like the elevation of the city and how it goes downhill, which is pretty cool. get my centering. Okay. Every once in a while you gotta center the headset. Just an Oculus thing. I think we're going to land at San Fran International and call it a stream. Airport's in sight. Got to make sure I get lined up properly. So I'm doing it on visual rather than GPS. I can't figure it out is to fly by and come back. Oh, there's the airport. Okay, I gotta come this way. I see it. They run east to west, so we'll make our turn in. Go for the right runway. was a pretty damn good landing right there. That was pretty damn good. Pretty happy with that. Come over here and park it next to one of these big boys. We don't need a gangplank. Beautiful. Well, listen. Get my parking brake on here. Fifth-in, if you're still there, thanks for watching. I appreciate having somebody to chat with. Hopefully we'll get more people in the stream as time goes on, but it's a lot of fun just practicing landing and taking off. That's what you got to keep doing to get good at it. And really appreciate you guys checking out the stream. Have a great evening.